Patriots on the road against the Bengals tonight. Joe Mixon doesn't view Cincinnati as an underdog, though, saying the Bengals are, quote, the big dog of the AFC. Ooh, big words, Joe. Shannon, who do you think wins tonight?
I'm going to take the Bengals in a close one, Skip. I'm going to say they win by 3. I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have a big game. They probably link up over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think the difference is that Joe Mixon, the ability to run the football with Mixon and P. Ryan. And I think they're going to need to, Skip, because they did lose Lyle Collins and Jonah Williams. He's been a turnstile.
Yes.
And if he can get some protection, I think Joe Burrow is. And even when he doesn't get protection, hell, he still have big games.
He does.
He's one of the few guys, Skip. You can sack him 5, 6 times, and somehow he still throws for 350 and 3 touchdowns. I'm like, how? But he finds a way. Their defense, since he's defensive, look, they don't have a Myles Garrett. They don't have one of these big-name defensive guys that garners all the attention.
But DJ Reader is really good.
But they have 11 guys that understand their responsibility, be where they're supposed to be. If you're supposed to be in the A gap, they're there. B gap, I'm there. If I got to fill this alley, I'm going to fill this alley. They do what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to do it, and how they're supposed to do it. And what we've seen from Josh Allen, that there will be a couple of times in a game that he's going to make a dumb decision and put the ball in harm's way. And I think the Bengals do a great job of capitalizing on that. So I'm taking the Bengals tonight in a close ball game.
Okay. I am also taking the Bengals to win a little more convincingly than you. I think they could win this game by a touchdown, and it boggles my mind. They are a 1.5-point dog at home. They don't get respect. I think Buffalo all year has gotten too much respect. The great Joe Burrow stat is that they have covered the point spread in 20 of the last 23, and I believe it's going to be 21 out of 24 tonight because they're being undervalued, underrated, overlooked at home, especially on a Monday night, because this will be Joe Burrow's stage. I still believe he plays quarterback a little better than Mahomes or Josh Allen play the position of quarterback. He's not as spectacular as they are, although he's going to make some throws that will take your breath away. But Josh Allen's problem to me is he tries to out Mahomes, and he's gotten it in his head. I got to do what he does because I got to outdo him. I got to one-up him. And you can't because you don't have his offensive coordinator or offensive genius behind it. You don't have Andy Reid doing what Andy Reid does for Mahomes. And the truth is, I don't think you're as good as Patrick Mahomes. You can't do the spectacular quite the way he does the spectacular, even though you could argue Josh Allen's arm strength, just pure arm strength, is even a tick above Mahomes. I'm talking about throwing it out of the stadium kind of arm strength. I'm talking about punt, pass, and kick kind of arm strength.
The unfortunate thing is that if both of these guys, somebody's going to have that opportunity to go to the Pro Bowl. So what do you think about it? Skip, you remember they had the quarterback challenge? And they used to throw the ball. They line up and throw the ball and see who could throw the ball the farthest?
No, I got it. I'm pretty sure Josh Allen would win that because he's a little bigger than Mahomes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Given all that, I'll still take Burrow operating at a consistently more elite level of running the offense than those two guys do. And you can argue, well, he's got 3 really good receivers, like big-time receivers, and I give you that. But to your point about protection, I don't know how he gets away with this because last year, as you recall, he was by far the most sacked regular season quarterback, and then he became by far the most sacked postseason.
He's up there again. I don't know if he's leading. I mean, I think Matt Ryan and someone else was up there, but he's up there.
They tried to completely rebuild the offensive line, and it's a little but not a lot better. And to your point, Lyle Collins is gone.
But Skip, the thing is that they're always trying to produce big plays. And, to produce big plays, you got to hold on to the ball. And sometimes Joe Burrow holds on to the ball because he's trying to produce those big plays instead of just getting rid of it.
But it's not fun to get sacked because you are getting hurt. I mean, getting hit. And yet it doesn't seem to faze him. He says he likes that. And he always refers back to some play that when he was a little kid, he watched Brady get rocked by somebody and just jump right up and kind of get in their face like, okay, let's do it again, and go right back to the huddle. And that's who he is. I'll go right back to the huddle and I'll do it again. Unfortunately, you can't get your knee blown out like he did. But the point is, Cincinnati's the hottest team in pro football, and nobody seems to focus on that.
It's Cincinnati.
Okay, it's Cincinnati, but they've won 7 straight games since they started 0-2. They're 11-2.
He's about to change that, Skip, because I remember New England was the same way as New England. And Brady changed the perception that people have of New England.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow is well on his way of changing the perception of you have of the Bengals. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see if Brown is going to pay this man. Because, Skip, you coming in north of...
You have to.
Skip, you coming in north of $200 million.
No, I got it. But you just have to. That's just the cost of doing NFL business, right? I know he's a cheapskate. I know it's mom and pop, and I get all that. But at some point, you do have a cap to fulfill, and you're going to have to designate.
And you got a stadium to fulfill.
Well, you do.
And so you want the fans to keep coming, and they coming. And then you guess what? Next year you got Chase gonna want to see you.
Okay, well, maybe that one gets dicey, but this one can't. This has got to be whatever it is. You got to pay the freight, right, to do business.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't love what Joe Mixon said. I loved him when he was at the University of Oklahoma. You got 2 backs out of OU, but this quote, at the end of the day, what people got to realize and understand, we the big dog in the AFC, and that's just what it is, okay? I'll buy the premise of that.
Right.
You are the big dog. I don't know if I love you saying you're the big dog ahead of this game. Now you've written a check that you got to cash.
Yeah, you wrote a check.
Because,
the whole team got to cash it for you now.
Buffalo thinks it's the big dog, I'm sure, because they're right there with you fighting for home field with Kansas City, obviously. But his final line was, for anything to happen, it goes through us. Well, what you do have, you are the defending AFC champions.
Correct.
So I give you that because you went and you won that last year. And now you're going to have to back it up. So if you're just spitting facts, I got you.
Well, whoever wins this game tonight will own the tiebreaker over the Chiefs and the other opponent.
Yep.
Because Buffalo beat the Chiefs.
They did.
So now Cincinnati beat the Chiefs. So now whoever wins this game, they have the inside track.
Yep.
They would vault if Kansas City were to lose at Las Vegas.
Right.
They would vault to the #1 seed.
You know, what's funny is it doesn't get much bigger than this on Monday Night Football in week, what are we, 17?
Yeah, it'll be week 17.
Okay, it doesn't get much bigger than this because you want to talk about marbles. This is a whole pile of marbles that get pushed in the middle. This is #1 seed marbles, right? This is for the advantage to win 2 home games to get to the Super Bowl,
It's been a while since a game of this magnitude has been played there because you got to go back to '88, Skip, the AFC Championship game. Buffalo and Cincinnati. Cincinnati had the #1 offense. Buffalo had the #1 defense. Cincinnati did what they did, ended up going on losing to San Francisco in the Super Bowl.
Barely.
So, and I don't think those coaches, Marv Levy and Sam Weiss, they were not the fondest of each other.
No, they were not.
There was a lot of talk going on.
But what's funny to me is the game's not getting the acclaim I don't think that it deserves because these are 2 heavyweights.
You know what? It has not. It's
okay because it's
so,
Buffalo and Cincinnati.
And plus, it's so late in the season, Skip. I mean, I almost forget, like, games still coming on Monday night.
Yeah, well.
I think this is the last Monday night game, isn't it? It's got to be. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Because they got, I think they got 3 games Saturday, and then the rest of the games, Sunday.
This is big, and I believe Joe Burrow's coming up big.
I'll be tuned. I'll be watching.
Yeah,
I'll be watching.
I think I will too.
I'll watch it.
Yep.
Me
so
three.
we both got Cincinnati. Okay.
I got Burrow.
Go Burrow.
Oh, you got Burrow. Not Cincinnati. You got Burrow.
You know the correct way to spell go in this instance, don't you?
There you go.
G-E-A-U-X.
There you
right.
go.
Shannon, how impressive was your guy LeBron's 47-point birthday game? What a gift. That's coming up next.